Back. Welcome to the replay. My name is David, and I love helping you succeed in every area of your life. So thank you for joining me today. Hopefully you've been having a great day. Hopefully you're having a great morning so far. And if you're not, choose to have a better day. The choice is yours. Sometimes you can't always predict or expect life to be as it is, but you can always dictate the way you choose to respond to it. So make it a great day. Today we're going to talk about love and relationships. So come on in, invite your people, invite your followers, invite your friends, and we're going to have a great time. So make it an invite party. Sharing is caring. The way you invite people is you can, on Apple devices, swipe left to right and press the share button, and then on Android devices, swipe from down to up and press the share button. And so thank you everybody for sharing. The Believer, Shirodak, DC, Militia, Words, Greatest, Forever Nappy. Thank you all for inviting people. Riley 004, thank you. Rashika just joined. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Jacqueline, for inviting people. So I appreciate all the invites. And if you're on the replay, also please make sure to share this with somebody else. So I'll give you a really quick story. What happened to the Personality Plus book? Did I win? No, you didn't. I actually just did a quick scope. Destiny was our winner. So, but thank you for participating. You guys are awesome. You gave over 120,000 hearts. Good morning, Gloria. So you guys are fantastic. I have another giveaway for you, and this is courtesy of my wife. She is so awesome that she loves you guys, so she's going to give away this for you. She said this is actually she has a couple of these books, and so she said I could use it for the giveaway. You ready? Okay, here's the giveaway. Okay, this is the book, The Power to Forgive. Awesome book. I've taught from this book before. The Power to Forgive by Reinhard Hertler. I don't know, still trying to figure out how to pronounce it. The Power to Forgive. This is an amazing book. So you need to check this out. And I'll be giving this away. The way you try to enter, the way you can win this, is you have to enter by giving 1,000 hearts on this scope. So if you're on the replay or if you're watching this live, if you give 1,000 or more hearts, I will enter your name and I will possibly choose your name to send this to you. My gift to you, free of charge for you, to send this to you, okay? And so, out shopping with parents, we'll catch the replay. Peace out. Thank you, Destiny. She was our winner from our last giveaway. So, if you give 1,000 hearts or more on this scope, you will be entered to win this, and you may win, but you got to enter to win. So, talking about forgiveness, talking about relationships. Relationships, is a great thing, but relationship is like a living organism, a living thing, and that you have to continue to work at it for it to be its best. And so I've learned, and me and my wife have learned, that one of the key things to a great marriage and a great relationship is forgiveness. And forgiveness sometimes isn't always easy. Doesn't mean forgiveness is easy, but remember, forgiveness is always a choice. Some people say, well, I can't forgive them. No. What's really true is you won't forgive them, but you can. And love gives you the power to do so. It's amazing how so many people run around hurt with unforgiveness, but yet as a society, we're so quick to say how much we love and how deep is our love. And we have spoken words and songs and raps and everything about love. But how deep really is our love? If our love was that deep, it would give us the power to forgive. And let's remember that it says in the Bible that God is love. 1 John chapter 4, verse 8, that God is love. And we know that God has forgiven us as people. And so he gives us the power to forgive through his love coming into our hearts. We have the power to forgive. Always remember, forgiveness is powered by love. And if you want to test the extent of somebody's forgiveness, test the extent of somebody's love, check out their power to forgive. Check out how they forgive others. That is the extent of their love. I don't care how poetic their love is, how deep they say their love is, how much they cry, how much they give flowers. None of that matters. What I'm talking about is the power to forgive. That shows how deep your love is. Say hello to mom and dad. I sure will. That shows how deep your love is. And so, I'll give you a quick example, quick story. We used to have some friends of ours that we used to know back in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they were a married couple, and we knew them well. And what's interesting is sometimes she would make comments that we didn't really understand. And she would make some comments that we didn't really understand. And we thought they had a great marriage and a good marriage, and it seemed like they love each other. But every now and then she would make some comments that that were strange, like, hey, you know, I wish I could move to Chicago with you guys, or, you know, I wish I could do this with you all, or, you know, she just kind of makes some comments here or there that alluded to, I don't know, maybe there was something that we were missing, that she wasn't all the way happy. But what we came to understand later on is that there had been some infidelity in the marriage, and there had been some adultery in the marriage, and she, you know, she was hurting from that, and rightfully so. But what was interesting is those comments came from a place of hurt, of pain, possibly even of unforgiveness. Don't know if she had forgave or not, but possibly of unforgiveness. And what I came to understand is unforgiveness is basically a filter of pain. And when you go through a marriage, you go through a relationship, and if you're holding unforgiveness or offense or bitterness in your heart, that'll give you a filter to treat your spouse and treat that relationship through. So this is what I mean. You treat people based out of your subconscious. Have you ever seen somebody who seems like they always kind of have an attitude maybe towards their spouse, or doesn't really seem to walk in love? You know, maybe they make these little comments here or there. Maybe they're quick to snap back. You know, what I really believe is a lot of times when we have things that happen to us, we start to internalize them. And because our brains are so powerful, we internalize those things that happen to us. And then as we internalize them, they start to create a perception or a filter in which we treat other people out of. And so when we have a spouse that has done us wrong and we don't choose to forgive, we actually hold that offense, we hold that unforgiveness, and we actually start treating our spouse or the person in the relationship, we start treating them based out of that unforgiveness. And it's not something that you consciously do. But let's think. Over 80%, scientists say that over 80% of what you do and say on a daily basis is based out of your subconscious. It's not even coming consciously. It's based out of your subconscious. And so what's done to you, if you don't forgive it and you don't release it out from you, what you do is you hold it in your brain and it starts to get down into your subconscious, and then you'll treat people based out of that hurt and based out of that unforgiveness. And so it'll make you have an attitude when you don't even know what's wrong. It'll make you snap at them. It'll make you think the worst. Hey, he said he was going to be home after work and now he's late. Where is he at? And then you ask him, well, where were you at? And he tells you something and you say, well, no, I don't believe you. You lying. Well, hold on. Why is that feeling there? Why is that happening? Why is that your response? Well, that sounds like a response based out of hurt, or based out of unforgiveness, or based out of an offense. And you know, and I know sometimes, you know, we can get unhappy with the different decisions that our spouse makes, but you got to analyze, where is this response coming from? Is this a perception that I've built up from hurt, from offense, from unforgiveness? It says in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 and 5 in the New Living Translation. It's my favorite. And remember, keep those hearts coming, because if you give over 1,000 hearts, you will be entered to win this, and I will send it to you free of charge. This is The Power to Forgive. Awesome book. And I'll send it to you. The way you enter is you give over 1,000 hearts, and then that'll be your entry to possibly win. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 and 5, it says, love is patient, love is kind, love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It is not, it does not demand its own way, and it is not irritable. And my favorite part in verse 5 in the New Living Translation, it says, it keeps no record of being wronged. And I think that is one of the most challenging things as people. I said, I'm still growing in it. That's one of the most challenging things as people to do, is not keep a record of being wronged. What do I mean by keeping a record? Because you lied to me last week, I'm going to treat you as if you sinned against me this week. And so because of what you did the last couple times, I'm going to remember that. And now I'm going to treat you based on that experience. And so because of that experience, you might get a little attitude from me. You might get a little snapback from me. Maybe I'm not, you know, all the way truthful with you. Whatever the response is, it's a response based on the record of wrong done to you. Now, the highest level of love is not just forgiveness. The highest level of love is being able to not be offended, that no one or nothing can offend you, and that you can immediately release that thing before it turns into unforgiveness. Remember, unforgiveness is like a tree, but the seed is offense. Unforgiveness doesn't just come quickly, automatically right then. Offense is what comes, like you were offended because of unmet expectations. You treated me a way that I didn't think you would treat me. Or you did something that I felt like I didn't deserve. Or you did something to break my trust. And so, those are unmet expectations, which leads to offense, which can lead to unforgiveness. Easier said than done? Absolutely. I 1,000% agree with you. Easier said than done. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't keep doing it. And so we got to remember to love. Love is the power to forgive, and the evidence of your love is forgiveness. And so what does God say? God says, forgive them. It says, forgive them of forgive our debtors, forgive others of their debts as we forgive our debtors. And so God will forgive us as we forgive others. And I even believe like dissing your spouse. Sometimes they say, the traditional thought is, husbands get around and talk about their spouses and diss their spouses. And, and sometimes we watch it on TV and they make it funny. But let me tell you, that isn't everybody's reality. It's not my reality. You'll never get around me in a group of people and I'm like dissing my spouse. That's not my reality. And I'm not saying that's because I'm so awesome, but that's saying I have respect and love for my spouse enough so that I'm not going to do that. And a lot of times when people diss their spouse, they're talking from a place of hurt and unforgiveness. That's what gives that conversation the power. And so I encourage you that don't take that route, but walk in love. And when you walk in love, love is respectful. Love doesn't keep record of wrong. So if love doesn't keep record of wrong, then I don't have anything to sit around with my group of guy friends and diss about, because I've forgiven her for this thing she did. I forgave her for forgetting to cook dinner last week. I forgave her for messing up my car last month. Those are forgiveness things. And then I choose to expunge her record. Just like, if you have somebody who's a felon, somebody who's been incarcerated, and then they have expungement, which means that not only have they served their time, they got out and they're forgiven by society, but what it means is that record is now cleared. And if I pull up their record as an employer, I can't even see something that they have done wrong. The record has been expunged, meaning that they now will get the benefit of whatever I was offering because their record is clean. And what I'm telling you is forgiveness is giving a clean record to your spouse, to your husband, to your wife. And so good morning. Thanks for logging on. So forgive, choose to no longer be offended. Love gives. What does love give? Love gives forgiveness. So always remember, love gives forgiveness. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 talks about that you should forgive so you don't give the enemy an advantage against you. Check that out. That's interesting. The Apostle Paul says, forgive so Satan won't take advantage of you. And so unforgiveness can be very deceptive. And if it works its way into your marriage and into your relationship, it can cause you to be unhappy. It can cause you to expect the worst. It can cause you to make up situations and scenarios that aren't even real, that don't even have anything to do with what's really happening, but it's now seeped into your subconscious and it's designed to create a perception of wrongdoing. And yeah, it's toxic, it's demonic invasion, it's bad thinking. And so you got to get that out. So the key to healthy marriages and relationships is forgiveness. Don't ever forget it. So if you give over 1,000 hearts on this scope, 1,000 or more hearts, you will be entered to win this book right here. This is my gift from my wife. She's given it to you. So The Power to Forgive by Reinhard Hertler, I don't know. Still trying to figure out how to pronounce it. But The Power to Forgive. Check this book out. This is an amazing book. I've taught our youth from this book and from some principles that are outlined in this book. So if you give over 1,000 hearts, you'll be entered to win that. Please share this with somebody else. I really hope that this has encouraged you. Forgiveness isn't easy, but it is absolutely a non-negotiable. It is essential for your relationship and for your marriages to grow. So don't ever forget it. Love is the evidence. Love is the evidence. Forgiveness is the evidence of your love towards your spouse and towards others. And so we can talk about love all day. We can sing songs. We can give flowers. But where the rubber meets the road is forgiveness. That shows how deep your love is for somebody else. That showed how deep Jesus' love was for us because he forgave us, right? So share this with somebody else. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend. I really hope that this has blessed you. Forgiveness is not always easy, but it's absolutely essential. So I love what you said. before that, forgiveness is daily. Yeah, you got to forgive daily. Forgive daily. Forgiveness is the evidence of love. We see it. God's forgiveness to us was the evidence that He loves us. If He didn't forgive us, what kind of evidence would we have that He loves us? And so that's where it started. That's where the foundation is. Yes, grace, absolutely. So thanks, guys, for logging on. Healthy and happy marriages. Me and my wife just celebrated our 8th year wedding anniversary just on Wednesday. So we're so blessed to be able to continue to just walk in this life walk together. And thank you so much for the congratulations. And she's just an amazing, amazing woman. I'm going to get her on Periscope more and more, but she's so busy just taking care of me, taking care of kids, taking care of ministry. And that's so awesome. Hey, Tommy, 32 years. Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations on 32 awesome years. I'm so blessed to be able to be married to my best friend and such a wonderful, wonderful woman. I sometimes I feel bad for other guys because I'm like, y'all don't have such a great wife like I have. I'll pray for you though. But I love my wife, Nikki. She's awesome, and I feel God's love through her. And every time I look at her, I remember how much God loves me because He gave me such an amazing, virtuous woman. So that's my story. That's my spiel. Continue to grow in love. Continue to walk in forgiveness. God bless you guys. Have a great day. Follow if you're not already following so you don't miss any of my scopes. My name is David Winston. Remember, give over 1,000 hearts to be entered to win this right here, the power to forgive. And it might be you. Tony's going on 7 years, so congratulations to him. Boom. Okay, so I got to go get to my son's school, 6-year-old Joshua. I got to go read to his class. And so, pray for me so I read good. I want to read good. God bless you guys. Have a great day.